Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, instead of giving you more tips and advice, I want to actually share my real story of how I lost 40 pounds and how I was actually able to keep it off finally. I want to share with you everything from my mindset and motivation to actual my method that I use, and all the way through my cheat meals and how I actually was able to stick to everything despite my ADHD. So if you're excited, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and let's get right into it. By the way guys, my name is Seppi and I'm the founder of Helix Academy in Toronto. In this channel, I share the best research and practical advice that you could use to become limitless in and outside of school. I know it sounds cheesy, but if you find my content interesting, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button so you never miss a video. I don't know if you guys know, but I've actually had two major weight losses, one back in 2014 and one in 2017, which was very recent, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video.
Yo, weight loss check.
Look at me now, look at me now, oh, I'm getting paid.
Okay, so in about 2015, 2016, I moved in with my boyfriend and we started having a lot of fun. We would go out for dinner every single night. We would have a pitcher, we would have snacks, nachos, burgers, and then on our way back, actually from the restaurant and bar, we would usually go to St. Louis. And then on our way back, we would always stop by an A&W and buy a couple of cheeseburgers. On our way back, we would actually stop by 7-Eleven and buy a tub of ice cream. I loved Haagen-Dazs, so I would actually have a whole tub by myself, and sometimes a Magnum or one of those cone things. Anyway, so I'm not gonna get carried away here. What happened here is that we kept repeating that over and over and over again until I started not fitting into my clothes. And then I remember going to shopping or buying a dress for a wedding or an anniversary, and I couldn't really fit into them anymore. I had gone from a size 4 to gradually a size 10, and it was just unacceptable. I have a very, very small frame, so for me to be a size 10 is actually a lot of weight. At that point, I was actually canceling a lot of outings with my friends. Let's say if they invited me for their birthday or something was happening, I would definitely cancel. I wouldn't go. And in my head, I wasn't thinking that, you know what, I've gained weight, that's why I don't want to go. It's just that I never felt like it, and I didn't feel like getting ready or putting on makeup. And I'm a very outgoing person, so for me to say that, that's a lot. Mind you, at this point, I'm still going to the gym because I had lost weight before and the habit of going to the gym was already created for me. But when I would go to the gym, I remember I would wear like a very long sweater, I would wear a black sweater, black pants, and I would just never do my makeup. I would always look really, really horrible. I would go to the gym, I would stay in a corner, I would run on the treadmill for, I would say 20 to 30 minutes, or I would go on elliptical for an hour and just do elliptical or something like that, and then go home. I felt good about myself for at least doing that, and I never even noticed, I wasn't really aware of how much weight I've actually gained. So at that point, I'm not really weighing myself, I'm not really paying attention, and every time I asked my boyfriend, you know what, do you think I've gained weight, he would always say no. It actually took a couple of meltdowns for me to make that decision. One time was when I was in the change room and I was trying to pick an outfit, and I actually started crying and left the fitting room and didn't go to an event. And then the second one was when I was actually coming back home and I was taking the subway, I was climbing the stairs and I was out of breath, and I'm like, okay Seppi, you know what, this is, you're very out of shape and this can't go on anymore. And then the next time that it happened is that we were buying frozen pizza with my boyfriend at Metro, and as we're in the lineup, the lady who was a very super sweet cashier who was working there looks at me and says, "Are you pregnant?" And that for me honestly was the end of it. So I turned to my boyfriend and I asked him, I'm like, do I look pregnant? And he's like, no, it's just your jacket. But then in my head, I knew that, you know, my jacket zipper was not zipping up, and I had just bought that jacket that year. So I felt like my weight was just exponentially increasing at that point. Okay, so let's talk about my mindset a little bit. I've talked about my emotions and how I was feeling and how I got to my breaking point, but my mindset and the way it changed at that point from eating unhealthy to deciding to actually become healthy was actually picking a role model. And I picked Paige Hathaway, who I followed for a while on Instagram, and I really liked her videos and her workout style. I liked her body, so I picked her. And because I set my goals so high, it's kind of impossible for me to give up, and I'm always trying to improve. I'm always having a goal and I'm always working towards something. So I think picking a goal and having a good role model is very, very important. I remember I had a picture of her printed and put it beside my bed, so every time I would wake up, I would look at it and I would get motivated, and I would be in the right mindset every single day. And it really does help if you take the time when you wake up, instead of rushing to do your things. Give yourself time. If you work on your sleep and if you wake up earlier, which is something I had to work on for a while, you give yourself time to put yourself in the right mindset to carry throughout the day. And a lot of people ask me, has ADHD stopped me from, reaching my goals and staying focused? Absolutely not. I use my ADHD because I get to be hyper focused on something I like. So if you have ADHD and you get yourself really, really excited and hype yourself up about the goal that you have, and you always make sure you concentrate on your goal and you get excited about what you're doing in life, you will be hyper focused on it. You have to just make sure you love what you're doing, and that's all that matters. Okay guys, so let's talk about motivation. Motivation is much needed for you to continue throughout your journey. You have to be motivated and excited about what you want to do. And I understand once you have a role model, it should motivate you. But what will motivate you on those days that you don't want to go to the gym? What will motivate you on the days that you've just gotten into an argument or you're sad and you don't feel like doing anything? But you have to talk yourself out of that mentality and get yourself to the gym. I want to really get into that and talk about what I've used to motivate myself. Before I go to the gym, sometimes if I really needed it, the easiest thing I could do is to go on Spotify or YouTube and listen to motivational speeches. They're great. They actually hype you up and they give you some kind of a motivation. But expecting to be motivated on some days is it's just wrong. You're not going to be motivated every day. None of those speeches are going to work, and some days you're just so tired that you just rather do nothing and that day. But those days are the days that count. Those days are the days that are going to make the change, and you shouldn't be expecting to be motivated, because the reality of it is nobody is motivated every day. I'm not motivated every day. The people who compete in the Olympics are not motivated every day. So what you need to do is to really focus on discipline rather than motivation, because that's the key to success. On the days that you don't feel like going to the gym, you just have to go. There has been so many days that I've gone to the gym, I just walked on the treadmill and I came back home because I just didn't have it in me to do it, but I still went. If you still go and you still take a walk on the treadmill and come back home, you still feel achieved. You feel like you've done something and you're going to do what you said you're going to do. And that will be a win for you, not a failure. It's so important in training your brain to understand that you're powerful and you do what you say you're going to do, as opposed to just, if you don't feel like it, you're not gonna do it. That's going to help you out with the weight loss journey, and make sure you do that and focus on discipline instead of motivation. Let's talk about knowledge. We all have different bodies, and what works for my body might not work for your body or someone else's. Now, with YouTube and all of this great information out there, and people are talking about it, when you're getting your information, you have to make sure you get your information from a credible source. I was going through YouTube today and I saw on some girl's channel that she was advising other people not to have meat in order to lose weight. It's okay not to have meat. It's okay to be a vegan. It is healthy to follow these diets. but you have to make sure you follow a proper diet. For example, let's say you eat a lot of red meat and from tomorrow you're going to cut it out, and then all of a sudden your body is going to be adjusting to a new diet. Yes, you will lose weight because you are actually consuming less calories, but you might become deficient in some, vitamins and minerals like iron, B12, and if you actually follow a proper diet from a proper nutritionist, they will give you a diet that makes sure that you have those vitamins and you don't become deficient and you don't suffer from any future diseases. So when you're picking your source, make sure you pick a credible source. Make sure if you have the resources, talk to a dietitian, talk to a coach, a proper well-known coach that works with other clients and has a good track record and has some kind of a degree in nutrition, and don't attempt anything on your own. This is so important. I was privileged enough to work with a diet coach and a trainer at the gym for about 6 to 8 months. I learned the basics. I understood how body works. I understood how the proper form of a squat is. I understood how to exercise, when to exercise, how to do cardio. And then I started doing researching on my own, and I started reading and gaining knowledge. Knowledge is power in this case. So make sure you take your time with this and that you don't just jump into a diet that may not be the right diet for you. Okay, so in terms of my diet, I have a big sweet tooth and I love sugary stuff, so I had to actually replace and substitute a lot of my sugar with other things. So for example, if I liked Haagen-Dazs, I replaced it with Halo Top or other ice creams that are low in sugar and high in protein. And then I started changing that to maybe zero sugar puddings, and then I changed that to fruits, and now all I consume for sugar is fruits. I actually recently had a scoop of ice cream and it made me feel so sluggish just that day and the day after, and I couldn't even work out. My whole system was like turned upside down. So I honestly know I made the right choice, and I can feel how sugar affects my body. But the thing is that if you're having it every day, you're not really aware of that feeling, and you're always sluggish, you're always not motivated. And if you think you don't have a problem, it's just in your head. Once you stop consuming sugar, your whole life will change, and you'll just be a different person. Honestly, I swear to God, just do it. You'll understand what I mean. By the way, guys, if you're interested in cleaning up your diet, I wrote a program that helps you eliminate bad food from your diet and add really good ones. It comes with a grocery list. It actually comes with an exercise routine that you can use every single day, and it will actually come with a bunch of books that I recommend for you to read. Make sure you download it. I will leave the link in the description below. I'm sure you're going to love it. Now let's talk about how I started exercising. So in terms of my exercise, I always liked going to the gym and doing cardio and a little bit of a weight training, but then I was so shy at the gym to try new things. I tried Zumba, some kind of HIIT programs, when I was home in front of TV, and then I started applying it when I went to the gym. I also, like I mentioned, I did get a trainer, so I was taught how to lift properly. I learned how to squat, how to build muscles, and I learned all of the good stuff that helped me build a lot of calories and build the great shape that I was looking for. Right now, I don't really have an exercise routine. I kind of listen to my body, but it consists of slow-paced cardio, fast-paced like HIIT workouts, at the gym, and weight training. I, sometimes work out on legs, sometimes on the back, upper body, and I mix it all up, and I stretch a lot, and I try to recover muscles with foam rolling and things like that. So it consists of everything, and I love doing all of it. I spend about 2 hours every single day in the mornings before I do anything at the gym to get everything done. Okay, so let's talk about patience, and this is my favorite part. And let's think about this. When I started gaining weight, it took me 2 years from the day that I moved in with my boyfriend until I actually decided that it's time for me to start losing weight. So that took 2 years. So when I started my journey, I told myself, and my trainer also told me, she told me it took you 2 years to put on this weight, so it will take you at least 2 years to lose all of it, right? And to this day, when I look back and I'm like, okay, you know what, after 2 years, you know, I had a lot of progress, you know, during the time. It wasn't like zero progress and then all of a sudden in 2 years, you know, I had this huge, you know, transformation. But what I'm saying is that after 2 years, I had a completely different body. I think I had lost all of the fat that I had gained, and I was kind of back to the same body that I had when I was 18. So I was happy with that. And what I'm telling you is to be patient, especially in the beginning. You will keep going in front of the mirror and you'll see no changes. Little changes are the things that you're gonna start seeing after maybe 5 months or 6 months. And those changes and those little changes that some people may actually start noticing are your motivation. That's what's going to keep you going. That's when the actual motivation will come, not in the beginning of the process. Again, don't forget to download my program in the comment section below. It actually helps you keep track of, you know, all the food and exercises that you're doing every week. It's really good to have to follow, and it's also giving you something visible to look at, especially if you have ADHD. When you write your goals and you see it visible and you're reminded by it, it makes you kind of impulsive, so you're gonna act on it. So make sure you do that. Okay, let's talk about cheat days, and this is very interesting for me to talk about because my opinion about cheat days and cheat meals have completely transformed over the past few years. So this is how it started. So when I started my journey, I used cheat meals as something I looked forward to. You know, I would have a burger on a certain date and I would stay disciplined throughout the whole week. But it didn't work out like that for me. I wanted to have that all the time for the rest of my life and always have a cheat meal, you know, on that specific date. But it didn't work for me like that. Why? It's because as soon as I started having that burger, I wanted the fries, and then right after I wanted an ice cream. The day after, I just wanted Starbucks, and it just started a bad cycle for me. So after a while and struggling with this so much and going back to gaining weight again for another week and then, you know, losing it again, going back and losing it again, and I just hated that process. So I just got rid of it, you know. I got rid of it, and I think my motivation to do that was one of these bodybuilders called Mike O'Hearn. He's a man, and you know, I don't really have much in common with him, but what he showed me is that he had no cheat meals in the past 15 or 20 years. He never has anything except for his meals. So that kind of showed me that it's possible to eat clean always, and you will get rewarded for it. Now, I'm not going to lie, I will have cheat meals here and there, maybe once every 3 or 4 months, but it's not a regular thing for me. I kind of allow myself to have the things I want, and I swear to you, I don't crave a burger on a daily basis. I don't crave pizza at all, because once I have it and I feel sluggish and I feel that bloat, I just hate it. I like to be light. I like to feel like I'm agile, and I feel like that's the feeling that you get addicted to. And a lot of people think that, you know, we're always torturing ourselves and we're not eating. It's not like that at all. If you start eating healthier, once you become lighter, it will give you the motivation to stay lighter. You will never put yourself in a position to feel sluggish and feel out of control again. Trust me on this. At this point in my life, I'm very happy with the diet and nutrition that I consume. I'm not ever on a diet. I don't ever think that I'm restricting myself of any kind of food. I eat what I want. I love what I eat, and that's how it should be. And that's when your body is going to look its best. If I could go back in time and give myself an advice, I would tell myself not to focus so much on the weight, but focus on becoming healthy. Once you're healthy, your body will automatically look good. A healthy body who consumes good nutritious food and exercises and hydrates and sleeps well, it will just start looking good. You don't need to really focus so much on looking good. And that's about it. I really hope you guys enjoyed my story. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful at all. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. In the comments, actually let me know what you'd like to see next, and see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.